I can't buy any more watches, villas, airplanes, homes. Like I'm getting rid of stuff and then going, oh, let me take that and put it into Bitcoin.
Now is the time to buy Bitcoin.
If it can go to 1 million, it can go to 10 billion. Finite is finite, which means the price could go infinite, and it should go infinite.
At least according to entrepreneur and investor Gary Cardone.
We haven't even seen come to the table yet. It's not even shown up. I mean, I just went through metrics with Bitwise. It's freaking staggering. I've been doing this my whole life. I have never seen data like this.
The conversation in this interview gets real.
What's your number one piece of advice to go from $1,000 to $1 million?
So smash the like button. This is the perfect video to send to somebody who truly wants to understand the bull case for Bitcoin. Now, let me introduce our guest.
Gary Cardone joining us today to share some rather interesting alpha on the Bitcoin crypto market. He is a lifelong entrepreneur, founder of Cardone Digital Ventures into Bitcoin, blockchain, AI. Gary, how are you doing today?
Good, man. I'm doing awesome. If you're not doing awesome this week in Bitcoin, there's something wrong with you. You need to go see your psychologist, get a little retrained.
Exactly. I was surprised in the past year or so seeing you come out such a Bitcoin bull. Is that a fair way to describe you? It seems like you're really into it.
Well, when I come out of the closet, I do come out. I mean, I just come on all the way out. But I study something really, really. I mean, you didn't see the student in me for the prior 3 years, but yes, I have absolutely come out probably a little bit over a year and really have come out of the closet. I think this might be the most awesome investment opportunity I have ever seen in my life by many, many factors. And I've been blessed to see like 4 monster waves. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. I've come out very, very bullish with my pocketbook, not just theoretical exercise, by the way.
So please, break down your Bitcoin investment thesis simply for us. Like obviously you and me are both believers, but for the folks at home on the fence, not really sure, like really Bitcoin, like what is your investment thesis?
Well, you're the perfect guy to ask that question. You're an identical twin, correct?
Correct.
And you know better than anybody here other than you and I that you are no more like your brother than I am like my brother, that I am so unique, so finite, and humanity doesn't even know how to treat that. Over the history of thousands of years, what do we do to people that have differences than we do? We make them wrong. So if we can't even value finite in human creature creative terms, I'm quite certain that we are grossly incapable of placing a financial dollar number that replicates the value of something that is truly finite and that cannot be artificially increased in the volume of the production of that product. So this is why I think everything ends up being sucked into Bitcoin, because finite, there isn't any other finite. No oil, no gas, no natural gas, no gasoline, no diesel, no nuclear weapons, land, concrete, everything can be built infinitely if you have enough money and energy, and that cannot happen in Bitcoin. And that changes everything. That these power models that everybody's talking about, I got it. You went to Stanford and Harvard, ain't never modeled this. Never. There is not a model for this. So power to the law of 6 billion, I think, is more to the 21 million is going to be that's what's got me so interested, because my first background was in the most important commodities on the planet outside of food, which is oil and natural gas and electricity. And anytime the price goes over $100, man, oil just floods the market. Natural gas goes to $3, natural gas floods the market. We're going to see what finite really looks like, and it's going to show up in the value that's placed on just that one characteristic of Bitcoin, which I maintain it has 13 characteristics that are really, really important to me. But the finite characteristic of a Bitcoin is by far, if that were the only reason for me to invest in Bitcoin, it would be far enough.
So Bitcoin just fundamentally so different, so game changing. You're bullish. But then in this like macro backdrop, do you think this is still Bitcoin's time, or how do you see, Bitcoin is so unique, but at this time in the world, how do you think about it?
I mean, dude, this is 15-year-old. I like to keep things really simple. This is the only 15-year-old I know. NVIDIA is a $2.3 trillion market cap company. I don't know what its earnings are going to report tonight. It's been in the making for 25 years. It makes machines. It is most definitely not a finite resource. Bitcoin, its time has come to be on the world stage. I don't know any other 15-year-olds that have been invited into every private country club on planet Earth. Bitcoin has a membership forever now into every country club. 994 of the largest companies in the world just dropped 100 million each, 100 million each into these ETFs, and they're the small money. They're the small money coming into this. If you don't jump on this train right now, to me, this is the least risk, lowest price anyone's ever been able to invest in Bitcoin, ever. Even the $30 guys, the $3 guys, the 3-cent guys. Okay. This is the cheapest point, $70,000 with what we know today. And we have war. It's sitting on our doorstep. Gold and silver are performing as if we're going to war. The world is in conflict with everything. All the old constructs, any construct between players on the global chessboard that were agreed to in the last 20 years, they're all being deconstructed. Why? They're failing to live in the world we're moving into. They're literally analog models, like a little, remember the little trains that you used to play with when you and your brother, well, they don't have any of those anymore because they're boring. They got cool things now, like remote control helicopters. And, so look, we're not going to go back to horse and buggy.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably going to move into a world where you and I aren't allowed to drive on a highway because we become the risk factor, right? So we're going to digitize planet Earth. This is the way I got really, really psyched up about Bitcoin. We are digitizing planet Earth, and nothing analog is coming with it. It's not going to even participate, dude. It's like throwing a woman into, a Mike Tyson fight.
That's a great analogy. And I totally agree with you. The world is only trending more digital. Countries only getting more authoritative. The world is only, shoving us into these more centralized options. We need a decentralized digital way to opt out like Bitcoin. Now, you say that you put your money where your mouth is. Could you give us some indication how much you put in Bitcoin?
Well, now, that you should never ask that question, Aaron. Shame on you for asking me how much Bitcoin I have. What a heresy. Let me put it this way. There's a number of different answers. One, not enough yet. Two, let's talk about liquid net worth. My job here is to educate. I have no interest in influencing anyone to do anything. I bitch about how bad my education was, and I think the education around the planet's horrible. So instead of just bitching, I'm like, okay, I'll spend a few hours a week and make my contribution based on what I know. And I'm just sharing my journey with other people of how I'm looking at my own investments. So this is just me talking to me about how I run my money and my kids' money, if they're good, if they behave themselves. But I think about this as an allocation between net worth, what is my total worth, liquid and illiquid, versus liquid net worth. Okay, so I've allocated 88% of all my liquid net worth into Bitcoin.
Wow.
There are businesses and activities that I have that if they were all to liquidate tomorrow morning, and it's large sums of money, if $200 million, for instance, dropped into me tomorrow because I liquidated one of my companies, I would deploy 88 to 90% of that into Bitcoin. Most certainly I would do it like right now, this second, today. I wouldn't even DCA and I just go blow it in. And the reason for that is that unlike most of the people that are listening to this, they're going to think, hey, this guy's crazy. The truth is, great wealth is not made by diversification. Okay, so if you think diversification is a strategy to get rich, you're wrong. Diversification is a strategy that is deployed once you get rich and you get scared. Okay, I've done this now 5 times. I will repeat it over and over. Find a freaking problem, get really involved in it, and put all your chips on the damn table. And don't take outside money. Like, I've never taken anybody's money from debt or other investors. I just keep investing in my own company, like Node 40. I deployed some of my Bitcoin money into Node 40 so that, because I see Node 40 as an awesome tool to be able to track all this digital things that we're going to do in the future.
And in brief, I see Node 40 in your bio. What is Node 40?
Node 40 is a institutional grade financial context computing system that basically turns any smart contracts, Bitcoin, Doge, whatever digital assets that you've been playing with, investing in. It protects you from a draconian overreach of an IRS, an inland revenue saying, hey, I need this much money. It literally will take any portfolio and spin out technologically a quality of earnings of what actually happened, where the money came from, when it moved, how it moved. Was it a liquidation event or was it just a transfer? It's my way of protecting my children from getting scavenged over $1 billion in Bitcoin when I'm dead, dude. When I'm dead, like, people aren't thinking about this. If this stuff is worth $1 million one day, Bitcoin's worth $1 million, and I think it will be, you better be treating it like it's $1 million today. And that means keeping records, right? All the old stuff, Aaron, all the old stuff that the analog world needed, reporting, analytics, forensics, audits, that all is going to continue in the new world. The problem is you're not going to use a spreadsheet to do it, or a pencil and an eraser. 46% of people holding Bitcoin are going to get a divorce. 100% are going to die. Every Bitcoin holder is a seller. You're all sellers, dude. The question is going to be, when you sell it, is it a forced sale? And does the forced sale actually help your family? Or are you actually going to get hammered by professionals, auditors, $1,700 an hour lawyers who don't have any capacity to measure this stuff? And the flaws I've seen in accounting on this is staggering. So to me, I'll continue to buy, if I can invest in companies that help make this space more radically available to legacy players, that's good for the industry.
Definitely. Now, let me ask you this, Gary, because you mentioned you think, like Cathie Wood, like a lot of smart people, you think Bitcoin eventually hits $1 million. My question for you, though, is in the context of this cycle, whatever that is, the next couple years, 1 to 3 years. Finish this sentence. I think Bitcoin clears at least this price.
What's the time period? I just want to be clear on the duration.
Yeah. It is.
What does that mean?
This cycle. So, a lot of people, in the past with Bitcoin's 4-year cycles, a lot of people would think that this cycle would top out near Q3, Q4 of 2025. So we have less than 2 years, but it's probably not going to happen exactly like the past. So I try to keep it a little bit ambiguous. It was more like, eventually Bitcoin's going to top out for the cycle, consolidate, and then keep going to $1 million. I was just wondering what your number was for like this cycle.
I don't know. And so I'll finish the sentence will be my answer. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care, because I'm not in it for the cycle. I think that's the wrong way to look at it. It is this cycle. This cycle is 8 to 12 years of the greatest transfer of power. Power, man. We're talking about not just wealth, power and freedom this planet has ever seen. Ever. Okay, that my 75-year-old sister or your 12-year-old sister can invest in Bitcoin today has never happened before. Okay, there's been never any time when the big old gold mine is found and the slaves get to trolley through it before the big boys show up. Never. Okay. The kings and the queens always get, that's mine. Thank you very much. And they give a little penance to the guy that found it or shoot him in the back of the head. This is truly a remarkable event. And if you believe that we're digitizing, this shouldn't even be about money. See, quite frankly, the only reason Cathie and other people are going $1 million is that, dude, if it can go to 1 million, it can go to 10 billion. When finite is finite, which means the price could go infinite, and it should go infinite. If there is a locked, I know people that spend 600 grand on an automobile, man. I know rock stars that'll spend $20,000 on some sneakers, okay, or $500,000 on a watch. I mean, I got a $3,000 watch here, and I probably paid too much for it. $500,000 for a watch. There's 21 million units. When these people figure out, okay, oh my God, first off, there is nothing finite on planet Earth, never has been, except human beings. And what do we do to them? Treat them like shit. Humanity does not have the ability to measure finite. Isn't that crazy, huh?
That is crazy.
So I don't know what the cycle is going to do, but I know I'm going to get bloody, bloody rich over the next 10 years and be happy doing it. And that I'm able to front run the biggest money on planet Earth, which, by the way, we haven't even seen come to the table yet, dude. It's not even shown up. I mean, I just went through metrics with Bitwise. It's freaking staggering, man. Like I've been doing this my whole life. I have never seen data like this.
Let me ask you this.
Do I sound bullish enough to you?
Yeah, you sound pretty bullish. And in our last few questions, I want to ask you about the crypto market as a whole. You know, some of the spaces you do, it's like Bitcoin centric, and there's a lot of reason to be, bullish on Bitcoin first and foremost. It is, finite. But, the cryptocurrency market is exploding. Would you say you're bullish on crypto as well?
Crypto, no. I mean,
so you're more of a maximalist.
I'm a Bitcoin first guy.
Okay.
And this is the way I look at it, because I get grief from both sides. I've never seen kind of this dynamic. It does bug me a little bit, but I think it's the maturity level. It's the hypocrisy that pisses me off more than anything, but that's it for a different conversation.
I think a lot of people are changing their tune with like Larry Fink and, Bitwise and, all these high players saying, hey, we think there's value here.
Well, there is value. Look, we are tokenizing planet Earth. It's going to happen. It's going to happen because there's a lot of money in doing it. And also if you really roll out, it's going to save a lot of industries. Like real estate will be saved by tokenization of multi-dwelling and commercial real estate. And I think that's what the Larry Finks and the Hinchcliffes understand. That's the real play for them. But the crypto world is a toilet bowl. And that doesn't mean there's not some good stuff in that toilet bowl. The problem is when you have an FTX and it flushes out, even the good stuff gets washed down. So is a Solana going to be a player? Look, I don't know. I mean, maybe, probably. There's so much to do. But what these other companies and entities and thought leaders are doing is they're looking at Bitcoin saying, look, it's not perfect. Okay, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect until it's all built. You have we have released Ferraris into a world and there's no highways. There's no stop signs. There's no red lights, yield signs. You don't even have a regulatory process. We're using 1930 rules and constructs. We have congressmen and senators who have Bitcoin on their balance sheet today. And I think they're just figuring it out. In the next 6 months, we're going to know that Elizabeth Warren and Nancy Pelosi both have Bitcoin on their freaking balance sheet. Think about it. Oh, no, dude. It's absolutely happening. When you see the list of ETF providers, there's no way these rich fucks aren't being allocated Bitcoin. And if it's not in this round, it's getting ready to be in the next round, because the next round is going to be the wirehouses. So every congressman and senator that I got a letter from a congresswoman today. Hey, what do you think about this bill? We want to know what you think about this bill. Is the right thing. This is the one that just came out like 6 hours ago or something. So they're all going to own it, dude, because they're going to get allocated into the ETF. See, this is really awesome. And once they get and see, oh, wow, $200,000 went to 450, but they're going to vote against it? No chance. They're going to support it.
Ethereum looks to be getting an ETF. Are you an ETH guy or?
I own 11. I own 11 ETH, man.
Oh, really?
That's my bag. I sold all the Ethereum I had. I had a balanced portfolio, and I didn't like it. The more I looked at Bitcoin, the more I like Bitcoin and Ethereum are not the same thing, not even close. If Vitalik gets hit by an airplane if he dies in his airplane, Ethereum prices will go down. You'd be stupid to think that a 30-year-old kid and his team could, like, over 5-6 years, create this organization that would be so well refined that it could handle a death like that. I just, I mean, what, Dogecoin isn't going to have a change if Elon, like, I have an option on, I bought Dogecoin. If Elon dies, I think Dogecoin goes up as a piece of memorabilia. So I bought Dogecoin. I think Dogecoin's a better investment than Ethereum for that reason and that reason only. But for me, it's a call option. It's a call option on X working, and they will need a payment rail. And why wouldn't they use a token like that? You wouldn't want to use Bitcoin to do trades inside of X, dude. Like, I ain't using my gold. I don't use my 50 caliber M107 Barrett to shoot a woodpecker, right? I use a BB gun, right? Why would I waste that ammo? Using Bitcoin to buy potato chips makes no sense to me, but using a coin, a token, what's the US dollar? It's a token, man. Okay. It's just a piece of paper, though. It's a really analog token. So some of these guys are going to work. Some won't. Bitcoin will be the stable player. And I'm cool with people competing with Bitcoin. It'll make Bitcoin better, more competitive, faster. And it gives us time for full adoption, full on global adoption.
Mm-hmm.
This is the way markets really work. And no matter what you want, this is how markets work. You have competition.
I appreciate you giving us your thought process. It's interesting to hear what you think on Bitcoin and crypto and everything. One of my final questions for you, Gary, and I encourage everybody to go follow him, check out his links below, is this might be more of like a big picture, almost business advice, but certainly can be related to crypto. But you're a successful entrepreneur. A lot of people watching want to be where you are. What's your number one piece of advice to go from $1,000 to $1 million, like entrepreneurial advice or investing?
I would find people that I could really believe in, that I can validate. Like, when you ask me, hey, how much Bitcoin do you own? I don't get all freaked out about it. I'm like, bro, a lot. Not enough, but you like hundreds and hundreds. I think 1,000 is the right allocation for me with what I want to do with the rest of my life. It'll take me a lot of pain to get there, but I think I can get there. I would grab hold of people that really have quality value and learn from them. Like, be willing to be an apprentice. Be willing to learn from, instead of looking at all these books, it's not teaching anyone, and then work your ass off, man. And the best way to turn 1,000 into 1,000,000 would be go do some labor, add 10 hours or 20 hours to your work week, be the best Bitcoin miner you can be, which is generate fiat, immediately turn that fiat into Bitcoin, and then hold on and do nothing and go back to work. Okay, go mow the grass, go do whatever you need to do to make some more money and turn it into Bitcoin. You will be the most successful Bitcoin miner in the history of mankind without stealing electricity. Because that's where the great Bitcoin miners came from, right? They stole the electricity, and then they got a bunch of Bitcoin for free, $300. And get around high quality people, man. Always high quality people.
I really appreciate your perspective today, Gary. Thank you so much. Everybody check out his stuff below. Just, final question. Give us your final thoughts on Bitcoin, what you want the audience to know about Bitcoin, and certainly plug anything you want to plug as well.
To me, one should ask themselves why. Like, I didn't need to come into this industry. I don't need to do this. Why would a guy like me be like, I'll engage with a young guy like you and your brother and spend time talking about this. There must be something, and I'm not getting paid for it. What other than me getting some likes and hey, look at Gary. This is quite a bit of work, as you know.
Yeah.
And there must be something really, really important here. And for me to share so openly the wager I'm making is really my testimony to one. This is how I've done my whole life: is make these big, big, big bets, real consolidated. Hey, I'm all in, bro. Listen, if I had some more, like I'm just looking around, dude, trying. If I could sell my art that I really love doing and buy Bitcoin, I would do that because I think it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And when one of these comes along, look, this is where I'll end. Ask yourself this weekend, what have you run across in your life that is finite, that is cannot be manufactured? Okay, other than human beings, which we tend to devalue. What have you seen in your life that is truly finite? And if you come up with the same answer I came up, which is, oh, I don't know anything, then I'm pretty sure Bitcoin is going to be the greatest investment opportunity with the least amount of risk. Like I sleep like a baby, man. I don't look at the prices all the time. I don't give a what the price is. The only time I want to know what the price is, oh, it dropped $20,000. Dude, sell something. Okay. Sell the damn car, sell a house, sell something. But right now, what I'm doing exactly what I just told you to do. Hey, go mow some more grass, produce some more fiat, take the fiat every month, dude. I have real estate with my brother. I get distributions. This is like, I disagree with a lot of the old OGs that are going, hey, we're going to take money from pensions and bonds and real estate. We don't need to take anything from anything. What about all those distributions just rolling into Bitcoin? Because these people like me, we're already max allocated to all this shit. I can't buy any more watches, villas, airplanes, homes. Like I'm getting rid of stuff and then going, oh, let me take that and put it into Bitcoin. This is a 15-year-old child that's been welcomed into every rich country club on the planet, dude. That's awesome. I get to buy a little piece of that action in the first decade of its lifespan. Wow. To me, it's a no-brainer. How's that for an ending?
I appreciate it, Gary. I appreciate it. I love it. Guys, smash the like button. Check out Gary's stuff below. Appreciate you, Gary.
Thank you. Appreciate what you guys are doing. Keep up the great work.